I have decided that it's time to update my 1990s kitchen. And I know you are willing to provide that guidance. I don't have a clue about what to do. I just know I want to keep my kitchen updated, and I know it's outdated.
I always say, don't do this to be updated. Do this so that you like it, because you're doing this for you. You're not doing this for resale. You really,
that's always in the back of your mind. Like, one day, if we do have to resell it, I don't want to have to go through so much to update.
Right, and I get that, but let's make the primary focus on this, making you happy instead of somebody that may be coming along down the road.
Because when Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
We have an agreed upon fee. Everybody that I help always has to pay the same fee. Now, I charge the same thing for every decorating job that I do. I'm really cheap. You always get your money's worth with me. Your kitchen has an unusual floor plan because it really is sort of a
narrow.
Yes, and it joins two different parts of the house.
Right.
This area serves as more than just a kitchen.
In fact, very little cooking goes on in this kitchen because, let's be real, I am not a cook. I don't purport to be a cook, which is why the kitchen itself is not a huge factor for me. I don't need a tremendous kitchen. I don't need induction and invection and all the actions. I don't need any of that. I just need a burner that will steam broccoli and boil an egg occasionally.
So this will be an actionless room. And we'll just move forward with that, keeping that in mind. But this is an entertainment area for you.
Yes. As always, friends tend to gather around the kitchen island. And I'm not crazy about this.
Okay, so the island is an issue.
Yep.
And because this joins two parts of the house, you need this to be walkable.
Right.
You need to be able to carry things, large things, through here. You need to get to your garage from the other side of the house. So we have to keep that in mind. Tell me your style.
Ooh, maybe I don't even know what my style is. I'm not too frou-frou. In fact, I'm not frou-frou at all.
Having known you for
watch it
for years, you're not fussy. There will never be lace or florals in your room. I mean, you're very, very
And I tend to, when I get something, I tend to leave it in place without touching it for years. Where Kelley will change it up. Every time I go to her house, she has a different color front door.
Yeah,
really.
I do. I love to change things.
And I don't like to change things. I like to get them like I want them and let it be for, 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, and when they carry her out, the house will look exactly the way
this new update will be.
Yeah. That's pretty much what we're looking at here.
So we're looking for longevity here.
So it better be daggum good.
That's right.
What we're saying.
I want it to be something that's not trendy, that's going to be in style for the next 10 or 15 years, that I won't have to think about changing it.
Usually what I hear is, I'm not sure what my style is. Most people know what they don't want more than they know what they want.
Right.
So you kind of have to back into what
I know I don't want the all-white kitchen.
Yes.
I want an updated kitchen, but I don't want it to be all white.
Right.
I don't want this to be a remodel. I'm not changing walls. I'm not changing cabinetry. I just want a refresh.
Are you willing to change countertops?
Yes. Because, I've got the brown and black speckled granite that everybody has. And that, to me, is one of the things that makes your kitchen look outdated.
Don't think that is what is outdating your kitchen. There are times when you can make one change, restyle your room, and bring something out of the 90s into the 2020s.
Yeah.
So don't get really hung up on, this is my problem, because there's going to have to be an overall change. One thing won't make it happen. So I'm just saying this because I know a lot of you out there, including me, can't change the brown granite right now. That doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you can make some other changes through style, maybe through paint color, what you're merchandising your countertops with. There's a black backsplash. There's a lot you can do to update your kitchen. So don't get hung up and don't dig your feet in and say, well, I'm not doing anything because I don't have $20,000 to redo my countertops. You're doing yourself a disservice. You can make your kitchen look better, even if you can't make those big ticket purchases.
I'm open to changing the counters, changing the backsplash, because that earthy Italian,
the tumbled marble. Yeah.
I think that's also dating it a little bit. One of the things I am unhappy about right now is I have dark floors, I have dark wood cabinets, and the dark granite. I just need to lighten it up some.
If you were to go with a more neutral countertop,
yes, I'd be in favor of that.
That had some beige and creams in it, or a greigey color with some lighter grays.
I like the beige and cream idea because I'm not sure I'm going to paint my cabinets, and they're wooden. And I know that wood cabinets are out of style, but I've heard that they're coming back in style.
They're not really out of style. Again, you can style them differently. You can style them differently with your pulls. There's a lot you can do with hardware, and there's a lot you can do with staging. These are very pretty cabinets that were done very well. There's no reason to just chuck them. I think
there's no reason to change them or paint them just because. And I like them well enough, and my husband likes them so. And so if we can save the money there and pick up the warm tones in the counter, that may make a lot of sense.
This is a small area, and you don't want cream and beige in the countertops, a color of wood here, and a color on your walls, and then you have a backsplash.
Too many colors.
Lots of stuff going on. And back when we were doing the series on the lake house, we talked a lot about having as few different elements as possible in one room.
That make it all a little more cohesive.
Exactly, and gives you the opportunity to merchandise these countertops. Add some things. It gives you a clean canvas to work on where you could bring in a pop of color.
Okay, so I want you to be brutally honest. I'm giving you complete permission. I know she will be honest with me. What would you change?
Before I tell you what I would change, what on your countertops and what hanging on your walls is so special to you that it must be here?
Well, I tell you, I like my knights.
I like those too.
I got those in London in the 80s.
And I remember.
And I drug them all over London with me. And they're really heavy. And for whatever reason, I just love them. I'm attached to them.
I love those too. This area does not have to be styled exactly like this area. You could do something really kind of cool over here.
Okay.
I'll just give options because she may not take these options, but you may go, oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the same countertop here. You could do a different countertop like a black and do different pulls on this little section here, and then keep the kitchen cabinets
its own
thing with its own, and have the countertop be different. If you have a larger kitchen that has a little built-in like this, and I had one, and I did a very different countertop and kept the rest of the kitchen
and
the
your
same.
bar area at the lake is completely different color.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Is it black?
It's black.
Black counter and black cabinets?
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
I like it, and it makes it more distinctive. And then on the rest of the room, do something else. They can't be so different. They have to relate. And I used the same types of cabinets in both areas and just painted one black and left the other a wood color similar to this. So you can make this work.
Mix and match kind of, and then it blends all together from one space to the next.
Exactly. I would say maybe we get the photos out of the kitchen.
Okay, I heard it. I heard it.
But I will say these photos can go in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
I would not have anything in frames on this bar area.
Okay. It's too cluttered.
It's okay if you have stuff on here. It's okay if you have bottles, because those are going to be task oriented. It's a little different. They're not going to be so decorative per se.
You mean you don't like my 1980s Pier 1 cookie jars?
No.
Yeah, I figured that.
I think it's time for those to head on out. They've had their time, and it's time for them to go.
Yeah.
But I do think we could do something really pretty and really effective. I'm also going to say, if you're not going to use this area to hold wine bottles, It could be an opportunity to hang a piece of art right there. Bring some
hadn't
fun
thought
to
of
that
that.
area. The next problem is this island. This is a bar height countertop right here, but the back of this is counter height. There is no sink or anything there, it's just a prep area. I personally, having worked back here with you before,
It's not enough space.
It's not. I would love to see this go and just have this countertop extend out at the counter height and put some counter height stools that will go underneath the counter
Yes.
so that it won't block the way. Because this,
That
if you're
will
trying to
give
get
me
through,
so much more working space. Not that I work a lot, but we do check the mail on this counter.
that's right. There's some mail checking going on right here. So yeah, but I also, you know, when you put the charcuterie out and
Yeah.
that's really important. These are wonderful stools as far as comfort, but they are so big it's hard when just two people are sitting here. You can't have people walking through. You have to think about the flow.
Well, if I cut this down to all one level, I'm going to have to get new stools anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, this will open up the kitchen. You take this back down to counter level, you're going to be able to see all the way through, and it's going to make the kitchen feel bigger.
That's what I'm hoping.
I think that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Backsplash. What do you think?
I don't want it to be dark because I'm trying to get away from the dark. So, you know, obviously it's got to go with the new counters.
So, like a creamy backsplash.
Yeah, creamy. And I love what he called the vellige. See, I've got a decorator term there. Each tile is a little irregular, and so it has a very handcrafted feel. I love the look of that.
And it has sort of a gloss on it, right?
Yeah, I usually don't like the bling, but I do like the glossy tiles.
But you're choosing a neutral color.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you choose a neutral, like creamy color, what the gloss is going to do is reflect light, especially your under cabinet lighting. So that's a good thing. So I don't think of that as bling. It's just a great way to maximize your light.
Yeah.
Since you are not choosing cabinets first, if you were, I would say choose your cabinets first.
Oh.
I would go straight to the countertops. Choose countertops. After you find the countertops you like, then find the backsplash that will match the countertops perfectly.
I'm ready to tackle it, and I'm ready to see how it's all going to come together in the next few weeks.
Oh, it's going to be great. Here's to a new kitchen.
So it was off to select countertops. I wanted to make sure that whatever I chose complemented the existing wood cabinets. So I popped off a drawer front and took it with me shopping. I found a beautiful quartzite slab that was creamy with some brown veining which tied the counters in perfectly. Next, I went searching for a backsplash tile that had the handcrafted look I wanted. Be sure to compare the tile to the countertop before you buy it so you know you're getting a good match. Before I knew it, demolition day had arrived, and I said goodbye to my tumbled marble backsplash and my 90s speckled granite. Then it was time to bring in the new countertops. But things did not go as planned. The island was cut to the wrong dimensions. It was 4 inches too wide all the way around, which meant there wasn't enough walkway clearance. So back to the fabricators it went. In the meantime, while the drywall was exposed, I added under-cabinet lighting and replaced the electrical outlets with hidden power strips beneath each cabinet. Next came the backsplash installation. I was finally beginning to see this look come together. The installer was a true craftsman, as there are no spacers with vellige tiles. Cut to the right size, the installers came back a second time to install the island. But just as they were laying it flat, the corner of the slab broke. They sent their best technician to attempt a repair, but in the end, it was just not salvageable. Fortunately, we had reserved 2 slabs from the same lot, so they were able to cut a new island that perfectly matched the other counters. The third time was the charm. Then it was time to merchandise the new counter space. Kelley and I went shopping at a home decor store to see what we could find.
that provides a lot of texture. That would look good.
On the island, you're going to need something with some height. It can be 3 relatively narrow things that are tall, that are at different levels, or a nice sized bowl. So I would say either or. I don't like a lot of little things.
It didn't take long to find what we needed, and it was back to the house to pull everything together for my new kitchen.
So here we are
Here we are.
in the finished product.
Woo!
Everything is done. And so now really it's just a matter of settling up. It's time for me to get my fee for the decorating consultation.
I've got that covered.
My filet of fish.
Kelley's #1 requirement for her decorating fee.
I love me some filet of fish. So tell me what your favorite thing is.
I think without a doubt, my favorite thing was cutting this counter down to 1 level. It has changed my world. I can open the mail on it now. No, I can cook. I have an actual legitimate prep place.
I want you to see this. This right here used to be higher up, used to totally block everything behind it. It was hard to work on because it was so narrow on this side of the bar.
Yeah.
Now we really have basically a table, a place where we can work, but also a place where we can stage things, where we can entertain. This is perfect.
So functional. I don't know why it ever was popular to have those 2-tiered things. And nobody ever sat at the upper tier.
Yeah.
So this is perfect.
I love it. It's really made a huge difference in here. Just remember that you have options. You don't have to tear walls down. You don't have to get rid of islands. You can work with what you have. If you have something that you'd like to be longer, then make it longer and have post legs made that'll match the color of your cabinets.
Yeah.
You can really do some cool things. Though it's not inexpensive, it is certainly less expensive than just getting rid of things and starting from scratch. I would say a lot of these choices you made in here, the backsplash, the countertops themselves, changing this, these weren't necessarily inexpensive choices, but you did not do a total redo.
I didn't have the budget for that.
Exactly, and I would say most of us don't. Changing out your cabinet pulls, you did such a good job choosing cabinet pulls, and they came from a big box store.
The changes that were made, well, I think pretty subtle. I think if you see a before and after picture right next to one another, it's probably not going to look that different.
Yes, it does.
Although it makes me feel better.
I think it looks very different.
And I feel like it's updated now,
Yes.
so I won't have to really worry about it for the next, years.
We mentioned earlier, she asked what my opinion was on certain things, and I told her that I wanted the photographs to go. Well, the photographs are still here, but we chose frames that would go with the decor. It doesn't really matter what I think. What matters is what she thinks, because this is her kitchen and this is what she likes to see in here.
She approved those frames before I bought them.
I love them. I think they look great. But what I'm saying is, you can ask people, you can get their opinion, but the opinion that matters the most is your opinion. She decorated this kitchen for herself. And to me, it looks like you for the first time ever. This looks like
sweet.
you.
Nothing
There's
sweet.
nothing precious in here. It really does look like you, and it's your It's your black, which you love your black. And I think that's really important to make sure that you get what you want. So this is a lesson in trying to do a big change on a budget, but also making a big change that takes care of every single thing that you want in a room.
Right.
And I think you did it. I think you nailed it on the head. I think
With your
it's just
help.
beautiful.
And a filet of fish.
And a filet of fish. I'll do just about anything for a fillet. I love it. One other thing to look at over the stove, we had some precious pottery up there. And now we just have some beautiful streamlined creamware. And that came from Target. And
Home Goods.
Home Goods.
Yeah.
You don't have to spend a lot of money on that. That's something that I would say creamware or white bowls, dishes, that type of thing. Those are some of my favorite things to buy from Home Goods. They have a wonderful selection. And she chose things at different heights, different shapes, but also different textures, which really gives it a little bit of interest, but still it doesn't draw the eye because she didn't want to draw the eye. It just needed to blend in with everything she did. So I think you did a great job. It sounds like maybe you've been listening to some decorating videos.
I have my own personal decorator.
We are going to explore some other ways that this kitchen could have been done. Maybe a farmhouse look, possibly a more formal look. We're just gonna try some different things you may be interested in, might be more your taste, so you can see the same room done different ways to make you think about the options that you have. I'm looking forward to doing that episode. That's gonna be fun.
The reward.
That's a good ear.